Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Urban Economic Empowerment Show. I'm Mo, and I'm super excited because I'm back in share mode, and I want to make sure that I get this information out. So I'm looking forward to hanging out with you on this evening. Now, I normally don't go live on StreamYard, so hopefully I have a smooth transition because I'm not really sure how this is gonna work. But anyways, so I want to get started. I'm waiting for um some few people to pop in, but even if not, I need to be able to share some information. And so I think I titled the show Economic Impacts, I think I did. Yeah, Economic Impacts Opportunity. And so I want to go through a few grants and then I want to do a little case study on a grant. I want to show you all some things and kind of streamline and make it a little easy for you. So I know a lot of you guys out there probably say, "Man, I started a nonprofit. I'm interested in a nonprofit. What can I do? What are the opportunities available to me?" And so I want to see if I can share what I've learned and what's available. Okay. So I'm gonna attempt to share my screen. But the first things first, I wanna be able to I wanna say this. So usually when you think about community projects, you're thinking about you when you're thinking about nonprofits, you should think from a programmatic perspective, right? So you're thinking about putting programs in play. And the reason you want to do that is because grant opportunities are they're timely. So sometimes there may be it's like when the federal government put grants out, usually they may be a 1 year, it may be a 3 year. So you always want to be prepared for the change and you always want to be able to scale up your business or scale up the opportunity. You also, if it's your particular, if you have a cause, you want to be able to be diverse. You want to be able to say, okay, this year I may be focusing on purchasing a building. Then I want to purchase. Then my next phase is to recruit, then to train, uh, then to staff, maybe buy equipment. So there are different ways you can go after these opportunities when it comes down to grants. So there are a few available right now, and there's some low hanging fruit that's available right now, right? And I want to show them to you. So I'm gonna put it in my screen. Thanks, Chris, for joining in. I want to share my screen,
That's good. Peace.
and I want to peace, peace, peace. So then I want to go to. I'm not going to be monitoring the chat because I'm going to probably get real involved with this. So I want to go through. Um, so right now, EPA have some grants out, and I want to go to the website. I'm going to go to the EPA website first, and then I'm going to bag you into the opportunities. Okay. So when you first get on the environmental justice funding and technical assistance, and so what they've done this past year or so is say, okay, these grants come out and they're usually for underserved communities, and those communities don't get a chance to have a piece of the pie because maybe when they do submit their grant proposal, it does not hit the mark or it doesn't score high enough. And so we want to be able to make sure that we're maximizing the opportunity to help those communities get funding as well. And so they came up with we call thriving communities. Well, the first grants they pushed out, they were called a change grant. That was on the federal level. And so those were, you have to been either operating, if you haven't operated your organization before, you have to have your practices in place, knew exactly what you were going to be doing. But the one I want to focus on tonight is the Environmental Justice Thriving Communities grant making program, right? And this program was put together by they broke the United States down into 11 regions. It says EPA has selected 11 environmental justice thriving communities grant makers that will receive $600 million to serve as pass-through entities nationwide through the Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Grant Making Program Cooperative Agreement. Grant makers will provide sub-grants to community-based nonprofits and other eligible recipients for assessment, planning, and project development activities. Grant makers will alleviate much of the burden that the federal grants process places on small, resource-strained community-based organizations supporting underserved communities and marginalized populations. These 11 grant makers are a combination of community based nonprofit organizations and potential partnerships with a federally recognized tribal government or an institution of higher education. Grant makers will design competitive application and submission processes, award environmental justice subgrants, implement a tracking and reporting system, provide resources, and support the communities, all in a collaboration with EPA's Office of Environmental Justice and external civil rights. Subgrants through the grant makers are opening with all expected to available all expected to available by 2025. More information to how to apply to these grants is available on individual grants websites. All right. So let's see. So it's broken down into 11 regions. And the regions are so I'm in South Carolina. So my region is region 4. I already know that. And I think Chris region is region 6. Yep, Texas is in region 6, right? So you can stroll through to see what region that you may fall in. Now, the national programs, I can tell you right now that region 4 through 7, the RTI, are covering regions 4 through 7. So there are programs, they've already started our application process. So if I go to, so what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to come out of this because I already know the website for my region. I'm going to come out of here and I'm going to go to my region. So I'm going to go to regions 4's, which is react4ej.org. All right. And so we have a series of classes and workshops and seminars that they've been doing, right? It says React4EJ is EPA Region 4 Thriving Communities Technical Assistance Center. Throughout our network of state and national partners, we provide training and technical support to communities working on environmental justice issues. So, what is technical assistance? The process of providing tailored support to organizations and communities to address a specific need and build capacity. Support may include sharing information, building skills, and facilitating collaborations. Environmental justice, the fair treatment and meaningful involvement of all people, regardless of race, color, national origin, or income, with respect to the development, implementation, and enforcement of environmental laws, regulations, and policies. So, if you look at this map, you can see who are the Tic Tacs in your area. And so mine that's closest to me is South Carolina State University. So who do they serve? Community groups in 8 states and 6 tribes of the EPA of Region 4. So Region 4 covers Alabama, Florida, Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, North Carolina, South Carolina, Tennessee, Catawba, Indian Nation, Eastern Band of Cherokee Indians, Muskogee Tribe of Florida Indians, Mississippi Band of Choctaw Indians, Porch Band of Creek Indians, and Seminole Tribe of Florida. So if y'all in any of those groups, guess what? You qualify. All right, so what are the categories that you can apply for? Environmental justice issues we help address include air quality issues, water quality issues, soil quality issues, personal exposure to environmental hazards, climate change resilience, clean energy transitions. The technical assistance we provide includes identifying and applying for funding, support partnerships with other EJ organizations, navigating online government systems and tools, engaging with local and state governments, connecting with experts for an EJ issue. All right, so if you're interested in working with them, click that little button, right? And it shares there's the phone number. And what you do, you fill out the application and they will get back to you. All right. Now, they already have a series of events that are available. I did one today. I did this one actually, the describing your organization. So that was the 8 that was earlier. That one no longer exists. Um, and then cultivating environmental regional 4 office hours. So those are the office hours, and you could register and they will review your grant application workspace session. Then they do applying for a non-competitive award. Then they have some more office hours times to help you out, develop your project, right? So they have all of these workshops ready to help you out. There's the budget. They teach you about your budget. The same thing in office hours. And so they really have created an opportunity for you to get support. So now what you'll probably be waiting for is to say, okay, now tell me about this grant. Can I see this application? So let's go back to the beginning and let's get the grant. Let's see where it is. All right, so I clicked on the Thriving Communities Resource tab. Let me scroll down. Now, here is the let me just scroll down, see what else they got on here. All right, so let's go to the notice of opportunity and funding. All right, so we get to this page right here. So now on this page right here, it teaches you how to apply. Now we're not applying for the change grant because that's already gone and that's not the one we're interested in. We're interested in the grant makers grant. So we're gonna scroll down. This is the one we're interested in. It says, what is the EJ Thriving Communities Grant Makers Grant? Cultivating Healthy Environments Region 4 is a part of the National Environmental Justice Thriving Communities Grant Making Program. We are partnering with the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency to support communities in EPA Region 4 to cultivate and sustain healthy environments. The program makes it easier for community-based organizations to apply for federal grants that address environmental issues. No cost matching is necessary. Our grant making program is designed to empower communities to pursue grants that address local priorities. Local priorities. The Thriving Community Grant Making Region 4 grant making program serves 8 states and 29 states and federally recognized tribes and tribal nations. There are also The Thriving Communities Grant Makers Program, serving organizations within EPA Region 5, 6, 7, and the National Central, which serves groups across Regions 4 and 7. All right. So let's go up. We're going to click on, well, let's go to eligibility. So who's eligible? All right. Community-based organizations, community-based nonprofit organizations, local governments, grassroots, philanthropic, and civic organizations or foundations with nonprofit status. Local governments are eligible, but state governments and nonprofit businesses, for-profit businesses are not. So you cannot be a for-profit business and apply. That doesn't work. Eligible organizations, you got your tribal government and your intertribal consortium, and then you have your Native American indigenous organizations. All right, so that's who can apply. So here are the funding opportunities. You have a non-competitive grant. So with the non-competitive grant, these grants are non-competitive, meaning they will be awarded directly to organizations not that need them. So directly, that means that that organization don't receive any funds, have never received any funds before, don't have a track record. The funding will help organizations build a foundation that will allow them to apply for future grant opportunities. And this is $75,000 that they're going to issue out non competitive, right? Then you have tier one, which is assessment projects, competitive funding for community-based organizations to the to do assessments in their community to better understand local, governmental, and public health concerns. So these are assessments, and I'm going to drill down more into these. Then you have tier two, planning projects. These are competitive funding for community-based organizations to plan how to address local environmental and public health issues. Then you have tier three, development projects. Competitive funding for community-based organizations to carry out projects that address local environmental and public health issues. All right. So when it comes to public and environmental issues, this is how it goes. It says opportunities can help community based organizations evaluate, plan, and address a wide range of environmental and public health issues. So you have air and water quality, air quality and asthma, fence lining, air monitoring. Fence lining is when you're surrounded by military bases, water quality and sampling, water discharge from industry facilities, small cleanup projects. Then you have healthy housing and food systems, healthy homes, home energy and water efficiency, better access to local food, green infrastructure. Third, we have environmental contaminants, stormwater issues, lead and asbestos contamination, is pesticides and other toxic substances, illegal dumping activities, education, and outreach. And then last but not least, we have our emergency preparedness and training. These are emergency preparedness, disaster resiliency, environmental job training, environmental justice training for youth. So there's a wide range of these. We're going to do a little case study on them too. And again, you need to contact them. Boom, there you go. Put your name, first name, last name, and your organization, your email, and they definitely will contact you back. Any questions on the type of funding? So let me answer a few. Well, let's go to frequently asked questions. I was going to say, let me answer a few of them that you may have that I already know about. Let me see if they have a frequently asked question section. If not, I'm going to answer a few questions that I know that you would want to ask. All right, let me go back to that. Let me go back here real quick. Let me stroll down. All right, so four funding opportunities. These funding opportunities is over a period of time. Let me see if I can find it. I may have to open up the here. Okay, yeah, let's do it like this. I may have to open up the app, the instructions. So there's trainings all over. All right. So once you submit an application, it goes through a review, then an external review. Oh, she's messing me up. Hold on a second. I'm in the middle of a live stream. I can call you back. Okay. And then the funding decision. So let me go up. Let's do this. Let's open up the PDF. All right. So this is the application guide. I want to take you through. Let's see. Cut through the chase. We already talked about these organizations. All right. So here's what's cool, right? You could have a plan. Let's say you have bad internet reception. Maybe you grassroots. Maybe you're seasonal. You're not really with computers. You don't know how to do it online. You can submit your application online, in the mail, or you can even call on the phone, right? This is how much they want to get this out to you. You could tell them what you're trying to do, and they will take your application over the phone. Isn't that cool? Let's keep it pushing. Here's one what I want to show you. Application submission right here. So these are the deadlines, January 31st. If you submit before January 31st, right, you will possibly get funded before April the 30th. If you submit before April the 30th, it will be July, before July, October, and so on. If you submit in January and you get a denial letter, right, you still can come back and submit again the next quarter. If you submit in January and you are awarded, you can submit again in the next quarter under a different category. Does that make sense? I'm sure it does. All right, let's keep going. Let me see what else I want to share with you. It's a rolling grant. I want you to keep in mind that this grant will be available. Any remaining application progress must be submitted a postmark before April the 30th, 2027. This grant will be available until 2027. So you have time, or you don't. I don't know. But it's a rolling grant. They're not saying how many they will award. I suspect they will award until the funding runs out. So look how simple this is. Prepare your application. You have step 1, application information. Step 2, project information. 3, budget information. And 4, submission questions. Right? Let's go through it. We get through the application piece. Let's get down to it. All right. So What should you have in step one for an application? Here's what you need to have. You need to, so before you start, either you've already applied with the Secretary of State and you have an EIN number. You can apply for the non-competitive grant. If you've already started out your 501c3, you also need to have your UEI, your unique entity identifier, right? That's the SAMS registration, or at least started, right? You need that in the application as well. All right. So what content does it need to have? Your organization basic details, your contact information, and 500-word description of your organization. That, listen, I pretty much told you the whole grant, right? So what point of contact? They're looking for a point of contact. This is the person that can answer any questions about the grant program, about your organization, right? That's your main person of your organization, usually your organizational director or your program manager. Then your finance point of contact. This is the person who knows about the budget and can talk about the budget and who's going to be doing the reporting. And then the authorized person. Now, the authorized person can be the finance person. Those two people can be the same, or the primary contact and the authorized person can be the same. Or you can have three different individuals. But don't let one person be the whole team. We've already talked about who's eligible. Let's keep going. All right, so when you write your project description, here's what you need to write. Grants or other funds you receive from the federal government, challenges you face to receive funding from the federal government, your experience working on environmental issues or issues where health is impacted by the environment, your experience working directly with community projects or issues. So we're going to copy this right here. And this is how we're going to do this. Let me see. Let me see if I can get to a document. I did. I should have already had a Word document up. I'll use what I want to use. I know I got Word. I think I do anyways. Let's see. Let me bring up Word. It acts like it doesn't want to bring up Word. Hold on, y'all. Oh, there it is. So we're gonna build it. I may have to log on to another computer. There we go. Don't worry about these folks. That's just a, let's see, open. Hmm? You done? I want to do it. Actually, no. Why can't do no new file? This is tripping. Okay, I'm gonna have to get on another computer. Let me get my Word document. What you say, something? I said they're all fine, but one of them. Okay, this one is blank. So I guess I'm gonna put that in. Or I gotta put it in. Okay, no, you get it. Don't sign out of my stuff. Let me log into another computer. Hold on, y'all. Stand by. Let me stop sharing my screen. What's up, Chris? So far, what do you think
What you mean?
about this grant? Do you think think it's something that people can do? Do you think they made it simple
Easy
enough?
enough?
Huh?
Did it, you, do I think they made it easy enough for people to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I took a class today, and one of the easiest thing was to see, when I opened up the application, that thing was so easy. Lord have mercy, I wanted to pass out. I said I work all this time on this grant proposal, and this is it. So I want us to do a little case study. I hope Brandon and Price jump in. Hold on, I need to
Uh, Quick
open this.
question though.
Yeah.
Uh, Now, can somebody that's broke do this?
Yes. Yes, because the reason is because you could be a grassroots. You could just be starting your nonprofit, and this could get done. Matter of fact, that's who they're looking for, new people.
Okay.
They're looking for new organizations, and so this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity for those individuals who. Oh, is this? Do I have a? Is it breaking up on me? Is that me?
Yeah, that's you. It's not breaking up on my side.
Somebody, why you should just put my laptop in? Not breaking up, but it had like a little static. So hold on.
Oh,
I might have to log on to another computer so I can share my screen.
okay.
So just give me 1 second. I'm a yeah. So if you brand new, let's say you have a nonprofit or you are interested in starting a nonprofit, this is the perfect time for you. You doing community work, because I'm gonna show you something. We don't we don't connect we don't connect. Oh, I'm so silly. We don't connect environmental and health environmental issues with some of the issues we have going on in our community.
Right.
And that's why we pass these grants up. We don't really, devices are not connected. Wait a minute, hold on. Let's see what this thing says. Oh, I gotta connect the mic. Hold on, Chris. I'm trying to, I don't usually use StreamYard, so I'm trying to
Right.
fix it. I may have to get on. I'm a what you mean? Hold on, y'all. Bear with me. All right. It says it's not connected. What you mean? Hmm. Let me go out and come back in. Oh, maybe do you have to sign in? I thought of that. Couldn't find a microphone. Is it possible you don't have one plugged in? Probably so. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Hold up. Let me see if I can speakers. I know I'm in the back. Now how do I add myself? Oh, this is not cool. All right, let me kick it out. Kick, kick the guests. I kicked myself out. So now I'm gonna try to add me again. Maybe I should add me from another email, huh? Like the same email. Is that what's up? Is it, should I do that? I'm coming from another email. Cause you use this all, you do this all the time. How do I do this?
You said what?
I want to log in on another computer because I need to share my screen and the MacBook not letting me do what I want to do.
What is it saying?
No, the MacBook not bringing up my Word document, so I need okay, maybe this is it. No, it won't let me. Okay, let me get another laptop. Hold on. I'm gonna use I'm gonna use another laptop. I got a million computer devices, y'all. Just give me a second. This ain't working out the way I planned. I should have stuck to Zoom.
Yeah.
I should have stuck to Zoom.
Yeah, you want to be new and special today.
Yeah, I want to use the StreamYard. Let's see if I can make it work on here. So this grant, when you talk about somebody being broke, are you saying that these opportunities, this is a way for someone to get out their economic situation? I would say so.
Yeah.
It's a start, especially if you have potential. You have a good program, definitely.
How do they make money from a nonprofit?
It's not you don't go into a nonprofit to make money. You go into a nonprofit for charitable reasons. Meaning
Oh, I know that. That's why it's a
cause.
nonprofit.
But what you can do is um you can have a payroll for your nonprofit
Right.
and pay yourself to perform a duty. But nonprofits aren't in the business of you making money. That's not what it's for.
Right.
Okay.
It's a nonprofit for a
Now,
reason.
if you want to earn money, you need to collaborate with a nonprofit and become a contractual partner. And you provide a service to that nonprofit, and nonprofit pays you for that service.
Right.
Maybe you got a for-profit. That's what you can do. But that's the nonprofit is not designed. The nonprofit is designed to meet community needs.
Right. So why would I want to do a nonprofit?
Because if you're interested in helping the youth, if you're interested in helping dislocated workers or veterans or seniors, or if you're interested in your community issues and you want to galvanize the people, then a
Right.
nonprofit is a good way for you to get financial resources and um, collaborative partners to aid in your initiative.
Hmm. So, for instance, let's say like a barber want to do like a free cuts for kids. That would be something he could do a nonprofit.
Yes. So his nonprofit, maybe he would come up. Let's do that. We gonna do a little study as soon as I can get this other screen to share, because I would need I need the PowerPoint like we did before. Uh-oh. Dang. Because I know every child there they need. This ain't working out. All right. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to start this screen again. Because I gonna have to share my screen. It's not gonna work if I can't share my screen. You know what? Hold on. Maybe I can do it this way. Hold on. Maybe just maybe I got a solution. Just maybe I got a solution.
Mm-hmm.
It's always more than one way to skin a cat.
Yeah.
Let's see if my theory works. Bam. I think I want to use Google Slides. You gotta do what you gotta do, Chris.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's do it this way. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right. So, y'all, what I was attempting to do was do something that I would normally do on Zoom. It didn't work on StreamYard for me, so I have to find another way. All right. So let's do this. So, that's not what I want. All right. So now I got to go back to my grant makers. Okay. All right. So let's get it going. Okay. So, first of all, I have these are the things I need in step one, right? So I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste. No, why is it not pasting? Hold on, let me go back and get it. I'm going to copy. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to paste. Yes. All right. Look at me now. You ain't going to be able to do nothing with me in a second. Hold on a second. All right. So we're going to put each part that we need, we're going to put it on a separate slide. Right? I'm showing you guys how to write this particular grant. It's not all grants, right? Every grant has its own category of needs. We're just talking about this one, and I'm gonna show you how easy it is, and you're gonna be like, "What the? Why ain't nobody tell me?" You know the favorite line. Why ain't nobody tell me? They really don't have to. It's up to you to put yourself in the spaces necessary to get the information. I just so happen to do that. All right, so boom. So this is going to be my, let me make this larger. All right, y'all. I have to acclimate myself again with I'm on the MacBook, so bear with me. All right, I got that. All right, boom. So I hope you guys can see the font. So me and Chris is gonna help y'all out. And I know y'all know it's scholarship time. If this information is beneficial to you, then I'm gonna need you to go ahead and share some donations to that scholarship so I can bless some kids, okay? All right, so grants or other funding received from the federal government. And what I'm going to do is to make it a little easier for us, we're going to use, let me see, let me close that out. I don't need that. I'm going to make it a little easier for us. We're going to use Chat GPT. And I'm only using this, to just go through a classroom exercise. So this is definitely educational only. Let me slap that across this slide. I don't want to have to hurt nobody. Insert. Educational purposes only. All right. Put this on the bottom, right here. I don't want to hear nothing. What? You see me live. What you want?
How long are you on?
How long as I want to? What do you need? Boy, leave me alone. I'm not going. Well, you better learn how to drive. Say something I don't like, Chris. All right. So we're gonna say, oh, wait a minute. What's our scenario, Chris? What we gonna try to look for funding for? Oh, we said a barbershop, right?
Yeah.
All right, barbershop. All right. Let me put barbershop. All right. Oh, hold on. Let me make this smaller. Barbershop. So, all right. We gotta give our barbershop a name.
Make up one.
You give me a name.
I don't know about a barbershop. What about a barber just itself? A self-independent barber.
Yeah, won't he have a barber? So you saying he don't have a barbershop yet?
He got his own business. He's a mobile barber or something like
Mobile.
that.
Well, tell me what you're trying to say. A mobile barbershop.
Yeah.
We're gonna need some more participants because Chris don't be cooperating on time.
Man, you don't cooperate. You don't want to be. You don't
We're
want to
gonna
come
call
up.
it Southside. Let me get Coach up in here.
Call it Glory Cuts.
Glory Cuts.
Yeah.
Glory Cuts. All right. Glory Cuts. Glory Cuts. Cuts with the C or cuts with the K?
Does it matter?
Yeah, man. We trying to. Okay.
Man, just do.
Leave it like this. All right. So this is our classroom project. Glory Cuts. With the K? I got the C. All right. Glory Cuts Barbershop. We want it to be realistic. I need to raise money for my scholarship. If I give some crazy content, they ain't gonna donate.
I mean, this is realistic. I know my old barbershop was named Glory Cuts.
All right. Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop. All right. So we're gonna go to chat. We're gonna say, give me a description for Glory Cuts Barbershop. The nonprofit has never received federal funding and is interested in helping his community with environmental and health issues for young for the youth, right? For the youth.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. He will service underserved communities who suffer from underserved communities. And let's see, he the grant budget is $350,000. All right, let's see what it gives us, and we're gonna look at it, and we're gonna break it out, and we're gonna take what we want. We'll see what are some challenges of not receiving federal funds. Let me go down. All right, so boom, there it goes. All right, so we're gonna go back to our slides. And we're gonna say grants or other funding from the federal government. So we're gonna get us a text box. That's a text box. And we're gonna say text box. We're gonna say global or Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop has never received federal funds in the, hold on. We're gonna say in the past. In the past, Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop has never received federal funds. Right? So boom. That answers your first question. Now, if we want to elaborate, we can go here and we're gonna say we could say that he survived off of local donations and fundraisers. The organization has survived. We could say has serviced the community by local donations, in-kind services, and fundraisers. Bam. Right? All right, so that's our first question. I'm going to duplicate this slide. So I don't have to keep typing the stuff. Let me go get this part right here. Copy, go here, and let's put that in there. Paste. All right, so number 2. So we've answered the first question. So let's answer question 2. All right, question 2. challenges you have faced to receiving funding from the federal government. Get rid of all this. All right, so let's look at some challenges. Well, before I go here, what would be some challenges? What would you think would be some challenges for receiving funding from the federal government? Y'all put it in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so we could say some challenges for receiving funding could be, let's see. Let's go. Let's Google. Y'all better Google. All right. Let's see. Let's put it in here. Wait, what was the question again? Challenges you face to receiving funding from the federal government. You could say because they have limited access to funds in the past, they may not have been. They may feel like that organization doesn't have the manpower or the knowledge or the resources, right? Let's see what else we got. Let's see.
Those are 3 good ones.
What
you just said?
Manpower?
Yeah.
Let's see. Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop. Faces challenges receiving federal funding due to lack of skilled personnel to handle financial reporting, sufficient. Let's see. We can also see what else? Oh, limited staff. To, or we say limited manpower to perform the duties required to carry out the program. And one more. Participants. And not enough participants. Could be. No past performance. I'll take this one out. Not enough participants. We'll say no past performance to prove past performance or track record of such program. All right. We cooking with grease. Let's move to the next part. And we just on step 1. Let's duplicate it. And let's go to the third. Let's go to the third part. All right, so this number 3. Your experiences working on environmental issues or issues where health is impacted by the environment. All right, so we got that part already. So we could say, as it relates to barbering, let's go back up. All right, so it says committed to fostering healthier lifestyles and focus on addressing pressing environmental and health issues. So, what are some health issues as it relates to barbering? So, let's look for that.
As it relates to barbering?
What are some not barbering, but some environmental, and health issues that affect the barbershop, mobile barbershop. Affect a mobile barbershop. Let's see. Let's see what we come up with. Ooh, there we go. Look, Chris. Bam. Yeah. Let's pick one. Good God. All right. So as we can see, there's a whole lot of factors that comes from barbershops. Right?
Yeah.
We have, let's go up. We're just gonna pick a couple.
Okay.
All right. So some environment. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna say an environmental issue, and then we're gonna say the health issue that may go with it. So let me just name them all. So some environmental challenges are waste management. That's the hair disposal, or chemical waste from the hair disposal would be hair clip-ins, which can accumulate quickly in a mobile environment. Improper disposal of the hair, right? And then we got chemical waste. That's the shampoo or conditioning, hair dyes, things of that nature. All those different chemicals, which are harmful if they don't properly dispose of them, harmful to the environment. Then you got energy consumption and carbon footprint. This is the power of the mobile barbershop. Typically rely on generators, batteries, or electricity from vehicles to power the equipment like the clippers and the dryers. So the power, those can contribute to the carbon footprint. So depending on what type of source they use to generate their power.
Right.
And then you got fuel consumption. So whether that vehicle is gas or is it clean energy based, right? Then you got the water usage, wastewater, where they throwing their dirty water. You know, when they're washing maybe their towels or when they're cleaning off their equipment, things of that nature. Then you got wastewater management. Again, when they're washing their hair, is it properly being is the drainage right? That stuff is going into the water sources, right? Back into the water supply, that kind of thing. Air pollution that comes from with the vehicles, from the emissions from the vehicles, right? Polluting the air, depending on what type of vehicle they're driving. Noise, right? Operation of a generator and equipment in some neighborhoods can contribute to noise pollution, which may disrupt local community, especially in residential areas. So depending on where they're actually hosting their mobile services, right? Now let's talk about some of the health. You got sanitation and hygiene. I'm just gonna name them, and we're gonna partner with the environmental, right? Got sanitation and hygiene. You got infection control. You have air quality and ventilation. You got muscular skeletal issues from the barbers. You got mental and emotional well-being. You have injury risk, right? So we're gonna couple these together. So let me go back. waste management. So wait, let me put it on my slide. So we're gonna do it like this. So delete that. We're going to insert a table. You want a table or a chart? No, I want a chart. I think I want a diagram. All right, let me find me a diagram that's side by side. Yep, I want that right there. And then I'm going to do, all right, so I want to go, oh Lord, I messed that one up. Let me undo. And undo again. All right, so this one, we're going to call this one environmental issues, right? And on this side, we're going to call it health issues. All right. And so I think the first one we said was environmental issue. We're going to say one, waste management. I don't think I like these boxes. Hold on. I think I'm going to just do it regularly. I need to be able to see. Can't see this stuff. Hold on. Insert text box. All right. So we're going to put on this side, we're going to set environmental. We're going to do that like that. We'll have environmental on one side. And then we're going to say health issues on another. Duplicate this slide. Health issues on this side. All right. All right. So on the environmental issue side, we said one, we said waste management. And then on the health side, we have improper waste that can cause a problem with health and sanitation. So what would be the health risk? Someone can get infected. Yep, airborne pathogens, right?
Yep.
Hepatitis. Yep, infectious control. So we could say bloodborne pathogens. Let's see that. Oh my God. What are you doing? Oh God, this child here. And that would be one. And so that issue will go with this one, right? Because we're saying if you don't properly dispose of things, then you could cause your customers to get some type of blood pathogen, bloodborne pathogen. All right, so let's go back up. Let's see. So we said waste management because we know people dealing with chemicals and things of that nature. So we're gonna go with this one. So let's copy that one. And we can change the wording afterwards. So we can do like this. And then bloodborne pathogens. Let's go down. And we can do this right here. Oh, yes, we did. Change that font size, child. Sure, we don't want it that. And we sure we need to make it smaller. All right, so we're working that out. And then we're going to do at least 3. So number 2 could be, let's go back up. Definitely, I like the water usage because where you getting that water from is super important, especially if it's mobile. Is it clean? You're going to be putting this stuff on people's head. So, boom. Water usage.
Alcohol swabs. Maybe got a cut on your face or something.
Ooh, look, you said it. Challenges of the barber. Yep, you said it. Water waste.
Hairspray, all of that stuff.
Yep. So let's do that.
Maybe the clippers cut you.
Ooh. So let's go. Let's see with the water. Injury risk. Yep. Risk of it. Let's see. Yep. Handle. So yep. You said cuts, burns. Yep. And that water, and that little nasty water they've been using gets in there. If they cut you, or you come in there with a cut.
Yep.
Let's see. That would be under injury risk. So number 2.
Hold on real quick, man.
No problem. I got it. Injury risk. Right. Let's do that. Oh, wait a minute. People might be trying to get in. I ain't even paying attention. Okay, no, they're not. All right, let's check in. Maybe it was. I wasn't even paying attention. Wasn't paying attention at all. Hope this is helping somebody. Anybody. Let's see. All right, so yeah, so that's the water. And let's choose one more. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me find one more, and then I'm gonna look at the chat because I haven't been paying attention. I want to find one more environmental issue. I definitely want to do air quality and ventilation because too often we are not changing our filters, checking on, we just assume unless it goes out, we're not paying attention at all. Just something we just don't do. So I definitely want to talk about that for these, like Chris said, these hairsprays and all. And I'm just showing you how to build it, and we're gonna go back and put it in our own words and all that stuff. I just want to show you how to do the research first. You could use Google. You can go to the library. It doesn't really matter to me how you build your case, as long as you can build it. Okay. We're gonna reword it, all of that. Put it in your own words. So that was the environmental, and let's go to the health. And if you know what happens when you catch a headache, you don't even know why. You know, let's see. I want to do community outreach. I definitely want to say that community outreach and client engagement in underserved populations. Sometimes people just don't have enough money, you know, to prioritize, to be able to get their kids proper Oh, hold on, let me do it like this. Mental and emotional well-being. What they say, if you look good, you play good. Sometimes, people walking around with their head torn from the floor up. A lot of times it's not because they want their hair like that. They just don't have it. And they just chose that to be the area that they cannot address at this time. But give them a nice little haircut. Y'all all seen the videos with the person who's less fortunate gets the haircut, looks brand new. We've all seen them. All right, so that was number 3. So we've identified, and these are the areas you probably either experience or have worked with. And then last but not least, before I go to number 4, I'm going to duplicate the slide, set it up, and then I'm going to look in the chat. So just give me a second. This of it. And believe it or not, we almost done with that grant. You're going to be like, get the hell out of here. Yep. That's what I'm here for. Share the good news. To make easy what so many think is so difficult. Of course, relationship building and all that other great stuff is important. All right. And number 4, your experience with working directly with your community on projects or issues. Let's go back up. I think I had found something as it relates to that. We're going to make it quick. All right, we're going to say... Let's see. Working with the community. Here we go. We're going to just say that. Difficult in building partnership. We just going to use all of this for right now, just for classroom purposes, so I can build with Chris for a second. All right. Limited credibility with larger funders and challenges with community partners due to a lack of resources. Y'all know how people be. They ain't got nothing over there. I ain't going over there. I don't know them.
Yeah.
All right. Boom. So that's the whole first half. The whole first half, right? So let me check the chat. That's the whole first half. All right. Hey, peace, power, and profit. Hey, devastating. We can definitely repeat this, man. Let me know. Hey, peace, power, and profit, Mika, Fontaine, peace, y'all. You guys always come through. Thank you very much. Meta, let's see. You looking for any partners, vendors in Michigan? As soon as I can narrow this down, we can go. I am mean as all of that you just said. Not mean. It's just when I'm doing something, don't interrupt me. There's a difference, okay? And he knows that. So you can call it what you like. But I am, but I'm also kind-hearted and I'm also very giving. So hey, it all works as a balance. All right, so I don't have no questions so far on Garfield. Let me go look in my chat on my channel. See if I have any questions over there. Let me check it out. See if I got any questions. All right, what's up, Tim? What's up, GA Price? What's the word? All right. And you ask, are there any grants available for small business for profit? Yeah, for assets, real estate, property, things of that nature.
What about sneakers?
Facilities.
What about sneakers?
If you're trying to get a building, you're trying to get a building, you might get some favor. Yeah, possibly. But I ain't talking about, not talking about for-profits right now. We're only talking about non-profits, okay? If you want to teach the kids, maybe you want to teach the kids on how to sell items. Yeah. You want to create a training facility. Yeah. I will tell anybody, you know, training, employability, those are opportunities. Every day we get a new set of young folk. Okay, everybody needs skills. Pass your skills on.
What about sneakers?
You want to train on sneakers?
Train.
Nobody's giving grants for you. Think about it. You want somebody to give you grant money that you don't have to pay back for you to go out and make money.
No, not for profit.
Oh, non-profit, yeah. Yeah, so and you can use sneakers as a case scenario for proper footwear. You can make the case for proper footwear.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So
you could.
You see how easy this was? And the only other thing we have to do, now watch this.
I think this is for wealthy people.
This is not for who?
Wealthy people.
This is not for no wealthy people.
Why not?
Only thing we're missing is, guess what? What are we missing? Budget.
Now, what was you talking about a building? You were saying something about
saying the building, because land purchase is one of the opportunities.
Uh-huh.
If you're going to educate, we can make a case for anything.
The reason why I say it's for people who got money already is because they got the time to do a nonprofit. A broke person do not have time to do nonprofit because they too busy trying to make money. So it's like the same thing with trying to buy municipal bonds. You don't make enough money to profit from that. So that's why I said people who have money can do nonprofits because they don't need the money. It's purely humanitarian.
That's not true.
Oh, okay.
That's not true.
Okay.
If you write yourself into the nonprofit, every nonprofit 10% of an idea, 10% of indirect cost goes to the operation of the organization. That could be your salary written into that for you to go out and facilitate these programs.
Right.
So you can build your salary in to it. And that could be your funding.
Right. So say if I was teaching a class on investments to a bunch of, let's say, 5th graders, I can build a nonprofit from that. Yet, let's say I do an escrow account. Could I charge for that?
Say it again.
So if I was doing a training or classes for 5th graders,
yes,
on asset accumulation, right? How would I be able to get paid for that while also still teaching?
Because you would have your price points in for those students, right? You can start the nonprofit could cover the facility, it could cover the materials, and then you can charge, it could be a fundraiser for you, and you're charging the participants for the information, but you're giving them the materials. the nonprofit is one thing, right?
Right.
And then you hosting a fundraiser for it is a whole nother ball game. And to answer your question, it says, yes, a person without significant financial resources can absolutely start a nonprofit. While having money can certainly help, it is not a requirement to get started. Many nonprofits are founded by individuals who are passionate about a cause but have limited personal funds. Leverage passion and purpose. Passion for a cause. The most important thing is the mission of the nonprofit. Clear, compelling mission that addresses a real need in a community can be a powerful motivator and attract supporters from others. People are more likely to support a cause they believe in. Start small. You don't need to start with a large budget. Many successful nonprofits started with just a small group of people working together to make a difference. Even a grassroots initiative can grow into something significant over time. There you have it. Don't get it twisted. Now let me create my budget for glory cuts. Create a budget for glory. Oh, wait a minute. I'm gonna say create a capacity building budget for Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop. Listen, I wish I had ChatGPT when I was going through school. I know how to write. I don't need it to write for me. I can do this without going through ChatGPT. I'm just doing it to save time.
Right.
Got enough. I already got my credentials to prove that I don't need to go back. I'm just doing this to save time. Look at this. Now look at your budget. $350,000 budget. You can condense it if you want, right? Look at this. Bam, capacity building. This is what we're trying to do. You want a staff, right? If you have a well thought out plan, you could get funded. But you can't get funded for just you and you trying to do the whole thing. Now, we started off as Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop with one person. But look at this budget. When you go after a grant, personnel staff, staffing and compensation, executive director and founder salary, program manager salary, barber two part-time staff salary, administrative assistant. You see that now? Administrative assistant. You can't do everything by yourself, right? A mobile barber van purchase, a van upfitting conversion, maintenance insurance, program development supplies, barber supplies, health and wellness materials, community engagement supplies, mobile Wi-Fi and communication tools, personal protective equipment, masks, training and certification. Boom. You want to train everybody. You want this to be continuous. Marketing and community outreach, website development and maintenance, social media campaign and advertising, community events and outreach, branding and graphic design, local barbershop and sponsorships, fundraising and grant writing. Add those people into your grant. If you want somebody to write you another grant for something else, add them in. Fundraising and events, donor management, administrative costs. Okay, costs I was talking about earlier. Professional development and capacity building. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
See how they worked out? Use these tools. You guys are using them to research religion. And y'all using them to research celebrity drama. Use it for your benefit. Like, come on. We talking about a community. We talking about FBA and RBG and NOI and the
Right.
Hebrews and the Christians. If you
Right.
tell me that y'all don't have enough money to do something or put something in place for somebody, I just showed you how to take an EPA grant and make it work for your benefit. What are we talking about here? Now watch this. Now I'm going to take all of what we've came up with. Watch. Hold on. Let me put in my notice first. I'm gonna see because I've already done it. Oh, I don't want to clear it. I want to. Oh, I'm not logged in. Let me log into my subscription. Watch what I do, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Let me stop sharing for a second. I'm going to take what we have. Oh, I'm logged in now. Hold on. Let me go back. I'm going to take what we have, and then I'm going to create the grant. Watch this.
Mm-hmm.
Not doing something special. I'm sure everybody named Mama, much more intelligent than I am, can do this.
No, don't say that. I wouldn't say
capacity. Now watch this. Capacity building. You could sit down with your team and you could strategize the same way. Capacity building grant for Glory Cuts Mobile Barbershop. As it relates to environmental and health issues in the community. Add a budget of 250,000. I'm gonna say create a capacity building planning grant. This is for an underserved community in Houston, Texas. Also include the organization did not receive past federal funds, does not have any community partners, and may have challenges and share the challenges it may have with first time receiving federal funds. Watch this. Now we just did it from scratch. Let's see what we come up with.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who can't do this? Take this, print it out, go back through it, and make this work for them. Who cannot? All right. Now, create a pilot planning capacity grant for Glory Cuts Mobile Barber Shop.
Come on.
Look at that. Look at that. Mm. Mm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Who they looking for? Who trying to do some work in the community? I don't know. I don't know if you really trying to do no work. I think you just like to hear yourself talk.
Absolutely.
This is right here at your fingertips. This is right here at your fingertips. Peace, power, profit, sister Jelani, Yolanda, Juju, what's up? No diplomacy.
They don't want to take them from the white man.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'm gonna start a
Boom.
YouTube channel, and I'm gonna just start ranting there.
Right. We just did the whole shebang. I don't want to hear nothing. I don't want to hear can nobody. I just gave you now. Granted, I don't have to use. I mean, we can. We're not gonna use this verbatim, of course. We're not gonna take this, but it's a guide. It's an understanding. It just gave. Chris asked me a question. It just gave us a clear outlook on how a broke person can get involved with as a nonprofit and not only help the community but help themselves. Right? Everything is a choice. Let's see. Let me get my budget. Gotta get my little budget. Hold on, y'all. Ah, get back up. Let me get my little budget right here. Put it in my grant. And we're done. That's it. Now let me go back. Uh-oh. Hold on. It's too big. I'll minimize it. It's too big. Make it smaller. All right. Put it in here. Got the budget going. Got the whole grant. Now let me go back to the application. Where's it at? That was the first. That's it. So we already got that. Now let's scroll down. We got the budget. Boom. And the last question is, what are some obstacles your organization may face when executing federal funds? That's it. I just gave y'all the whole application.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's definitely the devil. It's a good devil tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, I just gave y'all the whole. This is the whole application. If you don't get on this website and contact, let's do it. Hold on. Let me copy these slides.
Oh.
I'm gonna copy these slides, and I'm gonna do Let's do something for Q. Let's see. Change this out real quick. Let's do the science fair. Let's do the science fair, and I think you can go after. I think the science fair. I think y'all could go after. I think y'all can go after the 350 because this is y'all have done more than one. Y'all already have a track record, and we just gonna make it real easy. We gonna make it real easy. Design a capacity building grant for a nonprofit organization to host to cultural science fairs annually for 2 years. Bam. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I left an important piece out.
Right.
I left an important piece out. I have to say that addresses. Hold on. That addresses environmental.
That's all. The only thing y'all can do, man.
And health issues in an underserved community. Bam. Let's see what we're working with. Oh, there you go. There you go. You already doing a science fair. You just need to send in the write up.
Right.
Bam. Oh, the budget needs to be $350. Design a budget of $350,000.
What the fuck? Man, stop
Who's
fucking.
cursing, y'all? There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go, Dev. There you go. Redesign. Redesign in a PowerPoint presentation for New York. Watch this. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What you saying?
Let's do it. I'm just saying. There it is.
Send that over to him.
He need a guide. They probably already got the write up. All they got to do is take stuff out and add stuff in.
All you got to do is.
I'm just saying. All right, let me go back now. Let me go back, and I need to go to. I need to go to Google. I need to put in thriving community grant making program for New York. All right, so looks like it's going to be what region? I think it's this one. I think it's number 2. Fordham University. Let's see. Fordham University, they got 40 million to give out. We got to get y'all with some of this money. Let's look for the application. So what I just did was for my region. I'm going to look to see what region for. We're going to shut it down. We're going to see what Chris got going on. Oh, I don't need to request for it. I think it's got the application. Oh, here we go. Let's get the application. Bam. This is NWISE. It's due by March. Let's make it bigger so we can see. Same concept. Health and environmental issues. Yep. Let me see if they got anything different than what we have already talked about. They broke theirs out like this. So they got topics like research and monitoring, emergency preparedness, education and outreach, infrastructure and environmental improvements, planning and development, project development, land and asset acquisition, and job training. Right? Project development. Y'all do a lot of science projects. So y'all could pick one out, figure it out which one y'all want to do. And let's see. Identify your project. Workforce and student success to support green economic. Capacity building, grassroots, community-based organizations. Public, yep, you can do all this stuff. Let's get it down. Let's see. Got that. Let's see what the application at. Same dollar amounts. Same deal. One thing about federal government, it's pretty synchronized. So here's the application right here. Got your name of your organization, your email, your address, your EIN, the title of your project, your address, the state, what phase you're going after. You may choose to work with an organization, a municipal, a nation, or other entities. If you do, list them. Who are your community partners? Are you a member of the community or a priority organization? What population statistics. Got to get statistics of why you're doing what you do. That's what I forgot. And your target audience. What's the target area? So they're looking for project narrative. Please provide a short narrative, description of your project. This can be written in the form of 10 pages or a video essay in the form of 10 minutes. Your narrative or video does not need to be the length to be effective. It should be clearly communicated. The project, how much grant dollars, right? Keep going. That's easy work. Here we go. And here are the questions you're going to answer. General description of the project, why it's needed. A short description of your organization. Start and stop date. Project respond to the community environmental justice priorities, which you would look up. What are the environmental justice issues in your community? You can look that up. You can Google it. You can use ChatGPT. It's going to give you a whole lot of ideas. You put your zip code in, it will narrow it down for you. Oh, then you ready, Dev? You ready? If you got some community partner letters, make sure you can add that to your information. So this is it right here. I'll download it and send it to you in the email. Email me. I'll send it to you. Y'all are shoe in. Y'all already doing the work. Let's see if they have some trainings where you can start networking with them. Let's see what they got. Let's see what they put together for y'all. Resources. Contact us or structure timeline. Let's see what they have. Updates and communications. Let's see. We got the grants, but are they having any type of trainings? Driving communities, awards. Let's look at resources. Everybody got their website set up different. Let's see if they're doing any type of training. Here's New York and New Jersey. Let's see what the registration got. There's the link. We Act. So weact.org. Here y'all go. This is for New York. New York. You can go ahead and contact them. Tell them who you are, what you're trying to do, which grant you're going after, what kind of technical assistance you need, and they're going to reach back out. Let me see if they're doing any virtual training like we are. Let's see. Let's see, they got some events. Yep, there we go. Let's see. Daily Show Members Assembly, Advocacy, Community. Oh, that's old. 2025. All right. Let's see if they're offering any type of EPA Region 2. There we go. Upcoming trainings. All right, let's scroll down. There you go. There's y'all trainings right there. I was sitting in on them.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Okay. State funding. Grant makers right here. This you right here. Oh, this is old. Where's the new stuff? But this the person, EPA grants. How to build a budget. Let's see what they got on here. Let me see, grant makers training for applicants and recipients. Let me see. They may have already have something out. Okay, they've referring you all the way back to the EPA for support.
Mm-hmm.
And that's cool. Let's see. They're trying to make it hard for y'all. There's a video. I would encourage y'all to watch that video, definitely. Here's the new stuff. I watched that video and I definitely reach out. Yes, you create your budget.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. All right. So yeah, I'll explore that some more, see what they got going on right there. But yeah, you guys, this is, I mean, kind of in a nutshell. You can kind of, you want to come listen in on some of our sessions. If they're not hosting sessions in your area, register for one of ours and just listen in. Just listen in. We getting ready to do one tomorrow. No, yeah, tomorrow on applying for not the non-competitive grant. Go ahead and register for it. It's 75,000. Register for the one on the 15th and the 22nd. I have so many trainings lined up. I'm gonna get this right. Tell y'all that. All right, Chris.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job.
Yeah, that was a pretty good case study. We go into some other stuff.
Yep. I won't overwhelm them.
You sure?
I didn't overwhelm.
No.
I kept it simple.
Yeah, that was pretty simple. Can you be realistic about the process, though?
It is realistic. What are you talking about?
Can it be that cut and dry, or can it be a little bit more complicated?
No, that's why it's a sub grant. Yes, I can. Let me see. I'd have to cut off Garfield's. Let me see. All right, you guys are gonna have to. You would have to go to my channel because I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna play a video, but I'm gonna have to cut off Garfield's though because I can't play a video on his channel. Let me see if they already posted. Let me see if they've already posted the training from earlier. Trying to see if they already I'll play the federal training. Hold on. Let me go back to it. Let's do that. Let me get the one on the grant makers. Hold up. I'll play.
You gonna play right now?
I'll play. Yep. I'm gonna cut off Garfield's channel. Play it on just mine. Mine not monetized.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. Fine. Let me find that video again. Hold up, y'all. I had closed it out. There we go. I should do the budget first because that's the one that people always have issues with. You know, what they could spend the money on. Go to you're gonna have to go to my channel, you guys, because I'm getting ready to switch it up a little bit. Let's see. We're gonna do some training. Let's see what I want to do. I want to do the budget first. Because for some reason, I don't care what I do, people go straight to the money. So let me log off of one channel. I appreciate you all for tuning in on this side, but I have to go on my channel to play a video. So let me post that link in the chat, and then you guys can come on this side, and I'll play the video on this side. Play the video, and that will help out. There it is. That's the link. It's my name, Monica Lamb, I think. Let's see. Miss. I'll put the link so you guys can go because I'm getting ready to turn this one off. This one right here. Okay. All right. So I think I should be live only. All right. I'm only live on my channel. All right. So now I can share it.
Okay.
Let's go. Tell me if you can hear it, Chris.
Okay.
Can you hear it?
No. It's low. It's low.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Can you hear it now?
Hold on. I hear you playing it, but I can't hear nobody speaking.
Wait a minute.
It's very low.
Okay. How do I tell it to pick up the audio?
You use the StreamYard, right?
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to mute your mic.
Oh, mute my mic and then it'll play.
Yeah, you gotta share. You gotta
Share
you
first.
gotta yeah. So whatever you sharing, you gotta share. You gotta present that, and then when you present it, you gotta mute your mic.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can do it now. Hold on. Let me mute. Chris, they couldn't hear it.
No, we couldn't.
So what do I need to do?
I don't know.
It did say I have to share the audio. Audio. Oh, so I'm supposed to.
No, you leave it on default.
Leave
Hold
it on.
on. Yeah, leave it on that. Get out of there.
Get out of this.
Okay, click X. Get out of there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So wait, why you got two windows open?
Oh, because I'm have the screen sharing.
Okay, so you gotta share the screen where you trying to play the YouTube video.
Oh, okay. Stop sharing. Go here. Go here and choose the. Okay, I see what you're saying. So I think it's this one. Or is it this? Okay, this one.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold up. Let me go back.
The U.S.
Can you hear now?
Environmental Protection Agency
Yes.
offers grants and departments how to develop a budget course. This module will provide an introduction to important considerations for applicants and recipients who are developing budgets for project grants and cooperative agreements, and continuing environmental programs applications and amendments. Note: this training applies to EPA financial assistance awards, including recipients of Brownfields Revolving Loan Fund cooperative agreements. However, it is not intended for use on state clean water and drinking water revolving loan fund capitalization grants. This is Module 1 of 4 in the How to Develop a Budget course. The time needed to complete this module is approximately 35 minutes. Hi, I'm Danielle. I'll guide you through this module. This module will introduce you to general factors to consider when developing a budget for an EPA financial assistance agreement. In this module, we will cover required budget forms, cost allowability, prior approval of costs, pre-award costs, cost share, EPA in-kind assistance, pre-award budget revisions, program income, and transferring funds. This training serves as a high-level overview of general principles and considerations for developing a budget. For more detailed instruction, refer to EPA's Budget Development Guidance document. Statutes, regulations, and official EPA guidance, in that order, take precedence over this training in the event of any conflict. All characters and organizations featured in this training are intended for demonstrative purposes only and do not represent real scenarios. Let's start by reviewing the budget forms that are required when applying for EPA financial assistance agreements. First, you must complete the standard form, SF-424, application for federal assistance as part of the initial application. The form collects basic information such as your name, address, telephone number, email address, as well as information about your proposed funding sources and proposed project plan. Access the SF-424 from grants.gov. The SF-424A, Budget Information for Non-Construction Programs, is used for all EPA grants, even if they contain construction activities. The SF-424A summarizes the project budget for non-construction grant programs and includes a breakdown of proposed costs by various categories. You must also submit a budget table and a budget narrative to supplement your SF-424A. The budget narrative justifies the amounts entered for each category of the budget table. You must explain how the costs associated with each category relate to the implementation of the work plan and the achievement of grant goals. All items included in your budget table must be supported in the budget narrative. Access the SF-424A from grants.gov. When developing your budget, only use whole dollar amounts. Do not include any cents. For example, use $50,450. Do not use $50,450.38. Also, keep in mind that spreadsheet tools used to develop a budget, for example, Microsoft Excel, may round cents to the nearest dollar. In some cases, rounding can lead to calculated totals being $1 off. Check that the totals entered on the SF-424A match those presented in other application documents before submitting your application. Making sure that your budget values are correct and your totals match helps avoid delays in the grant-making process. Let's continue by discussing general principles for cost allowability and costs that require prior EPA approval before being included in a budget. All costs included in the application budget must be necessary for the performance of the EPA award. Costs must not be prohibited by statute, the cost principles in 2 CFR Part 200 Subpart E, another regulation, program guidance, or the terms of the award. Costs must be eligible, permitted by statute, regulations, or program guidance. Reasonable, not exceeding that which would be incurred by a prudent person at the time that the cost was incurred. Refer to EPA's 2 CFR 200.404 webpage for additional information. Allocable, incurred either directly or indirectly to carry out the scope of work. Refer to EPA's 2 CFR 200.405 webpage for additional information. And finally, allowable, allowed to be charged to EPA assistance agreements. Statutes do not specifically prohibit these costs.
This is super important. You guys need to have these regulations bookmarked for allowable and unallowable costs. Is super important.
The full list of items that require prior EPA approval before being included in a budget is detailed in 2 CFR 200.407. You must provide precise descriptions of all items requiring prior EPA approval in your proposed scope of work and/or budget narrative. Simply budgeting for an item of cost with prior EPA approval is not enough. Your budget narrative or scope of work must clearly inform EPA that you intend to incur the costs requiring prior EPA approval. For more information on revising budget and program plans, refer to 2 CFR 1500.9. Consult with your project officer before including any costs requiring prior EPA approval in your work plan or budget narrative. Your grant specialist can provide guidance on obtaining post-award prior approvals from an EPA grants management officer. Currently, project officers do not have authority to make final regulatory determinations for prior approvals. It is important to note that costs are not approved, and a grant award is not final until the award official signs the agreement, unless the terms and conditions of the award provide otherwise. Refer to EPA's guidance on selected items of cost for recipients webpage and EPA's participant support cost guidance for additional information. If you are applying for a competitive grant and have questions about prior approval, reach out to the point of contact that is listed in the request for application. Now, let's discuss pre-award costs. Pre-award costs are incurred in anticipation of an award and are necessary for the efficient and timely performance of the project scope of work. Continuing environmental programs grants commonly include pre-award costs to ensure the continued operation of those programs. Note the following considerations for pre-award costs. Pre-award costs are incurred prior to the award date but on or after the start date of the budget/project period. Pre-award costs incurred more than 90 days prior to the award date are only allowable with written approval. Pre-award costs must be included in the application and work plan. And finally, pre-award costs are incurred at the applicant's own risk. Refer to 2 CFR 1500.9 for more information on pre-award costs. To receive EPA approval, all eligible costs must be incurred during the budget/project period as defined by the start and end date shown on the grant award. Generally, the budget period and project period in the grant agreement are the same and should reflect the period identified in the grant application, but, in some cases, the grant award may have been delayed or the EPA project officer may have negotiated a change. Some grant programs do not allow pre-award costs. Consult your project officer or grant specialist if you have questions about pre-award costs. Now, let's discuss considerations for cost sharing and EPA in-kind assistance. Many EPA programs require grant applicants to provide a cost share, also known as matching funds, of a certain percentage of the total cost of the grant project or a percentage of the federal share. Costs that you intend to count towards meeting a cost share requirement must be necessary and reasonable, allowable, allocable, and eligible as discussed earlier in this module and as outlined in the Uniform Grant Guidance. Refer to the EPA Uniform Grant Guidance webpage for additional information. Costs included in an EPA agreement may not be charged to any other EPA agreement, financial assistance agreement with another federal agency, or included in your indirect cost rate to qualify as cost share. Generally, the use of federal funds to meet cost share requirements for EPA grants is not allowed. There are some exceptions. If you intend to use federal funds to meet cost share requirements, then you must provide supporting documentation showing the allowability of the match, for example, the authorizing authority.
I gotta listen to this part again. I gotta listen to this part again, y'all. Sorry.
Many EPA programs require grant applicants to provide a cost share, also known as matching funds, of a certain percentage of the total cost of the grant project or a percentage of the federal share. Costs that you intend to count towards meeting a cost share requirement must be necessary and reasonable, allowable, allocable, and eligible as discussed earlier in this module and as outlined in the Uniform Grant Guidance. Refer to the EPA Uniform Grant Guidance webpage for additional information. Costs included in an EPA agreement may not be charged to any other EPA agreement, financial assistance agreement with another federal agency, or included in your indirect cost rate to qualify as cost share. Generally, the use of federal funds to meet cost share requirements for EPA grants is not allowed. There are some exceptions. If you intend to use federal funds to meet cost share requirements, then you must provide supporting documentation showing the allowability of the match, for example, the authorizing authority. You must include all cost sharing in your EPA-approved budget and categorize contributions towards cost shares required by statute, regulation, or the terms of the assistance agreement in the appropriate budget category in the SF 424A. Your accounting records should show any in-kind contributions from non-federal sources in the appropriate cost category, i.e., personnel, contractual, equipment, supplies, indirect, so that EPA can easily verify to determine allowability. For example, if you do not intend to charge the EPA assistance agreement for all the time your employees spend working on the EPA-assisted project, you may include their salaries or wages in the personnel category for cost share purposes. Volunteer services, for example, uncompensated services provided by people outside your organization, may be counted as cost sharing or matching if the service is an integral and necessary part of an approved project or program. Volunteer services that count towards cost shares must be included in the other category on the SF 424A and should be valued based on the work the volunteer performs. For example, if you intend to count the time spent by volunteers to perform sampling work towards cost share, the contribution should be valued based on hourly market rates for employees of sampling firms or government employees performing sampling. The volunteers' time should not be valued based on what they get paid at their place of employment.
We need to listen to this again. This is important. This gets left out a lot.
Services, for example, uncompensated services provided by people outside your organization may be counted as cost sharing or matching if the service is an integral and necessary part of an approved project or program. Volunteer services that count towards cost shares must be included in the other category on the SF 424A and should be valued based on the work the volunteer performs. For example, if you intend to count the time spent by volunteers to perform sampling work towards cost share, the contribution should be valued based on hourly market rates for employees of sampling firms or government employees performing sampling. The volunteers' time should not be valued based on what they get paid at their place of employment. Voluntary cost shares offered by applicants for competitive assistance agreements must be included in your SF424A. Voluntary cost shares are binding. EPA program offices that are willing to accept voluntary cost shares will include a notice to that effect in the competitive announcement. Voluntary cost shares are a form of leveraging that may only be met with eligible and allowable costs. Some competitive programs may ask you to explain how an EPA award can leverage funds from other sources for related activities beyond the scope of work for the award. For example, an EPA grant to clean up a site may leverage funds for housing at the site after the cleanup is complete. The funding for the housing is leveraged but is not a cost share because housing is not an eligible cost under the EPA grant. Do not include leveraged funds that are not part of a voluntary cost share in your SF424A budget form.
Good to know.
EPA in-kind assistance is support to an agreement that is provided by non-financial contributions. In-kind assistance is usually in the form of goods, services, or labor. An applicant may request in-kind assistance, or EPA may decide to offer that type of assistance instead of direct financial assistance. At the EPA's discretion, EPA in-kind assistance may be provided as part of a grant award, including contractor support in purchases or leases of equipment or purchases of supplies, or EPA personnel under Intergovernmental Personnel Act assignments or interagency agreements. In-kind assistance provided by EPA is different than in-kind contributions an applicant contributes or obtains from third parties for the purposes of meeting a cost share requirement. Costs for EPA in-kind assistance should be included on your SF424 and should be assigned to the appropriate cost category on your SF424A. For example, if EPA purchases equipment that will be delivered to you as EPA in-kind assistance, the cost for those items should be placed in the equipment category. If EPA provides in-kind technical services through an EPA contractor, the costs should be placed in the contractual category. Only authorized EPA personnel may assign tasks to EPA contractors. Cost share requirements are applicable and should be calculated based on the amount of EPA in-kind assistance in addition to the requested EPA funds. You must acknowledge the amount and purpose of the in-kind assistance by including the estimated amount in your budget request. The amount of EPA in-kind assistance does not count toward your cost share. Let's move on and discuss pre-award budget revisions. If there is a need to make changes to your budget after it is submitted to EPA, due to incorrect cost categorization or otherwise, contact your project officer or grant specialist to revise the documents. If the revisions impact the amount of the award, match, or EPA in-kind assistance, you may also need to submit a revised SF424. You may be required to submit a revised version of Section B budget categories of the SF424A, budget narrative, and other budget-related documents so that they are consistent with the approved budget in the award agreement. For state and tribal non-competitive continuing environmental program grants, pen and ink changes to applicant budgets may be acceptable. This means that EPA may be able to make changes to existing applicant forms rather than obtaining new ones, provided such changes meet certain conditions. The conditions and programs for which such changes are allowed are defined in Grants Policy Issuance for states and Grants Policy Issuance 13-02 for tribes. Now let's learn about program income and how it is managed under EPA grants. Program income is defined as gross income directly generated by an EPA-supported activity or income earned as a result of an EPA award during the period of performance. Examples of program income include fees for services, for example, conference or training registration fees, sales of products produced with EPA funds, and loan interest payments from loans an applicant will make with EPA funds. If program income will be generated under your project, you must include the projected value generated and used during the grant period on line 7 of your SF424A budget form. You must also account for program income in your forecasted cash needs in line 13 of your SF424A budget form. As an applicant, you are encouraged to earn income to defray program costs. Refer to CFR 200.307 and 2 CFR 1500.8 for more information on program income. Program income does not include transactions in which previously expended EPA funds are recouped, such as refunds or rebates. Proceeds from the sale of items purchased with EPA funds, including real property, equipment, supplies. And finally, governmental revenues, such as fines or special assessments. Permit fees generated by state, tribal, or local environmental programs are treated as governmental revenues rather than program income. If your organization receives more than 50% of its annual revenue from an EPA assistance agreement, consult with your project officer if you plan to charge membership fees for exclusive services using EPA award funds or matching funds. There are 3 potential dispositions of program income: addition, deduction, and cost sharing. EPA's general policy states that addition is the default use of program income for EPA grants unless the terms and conditions of the award provide otherwise. The addition method allows you to add program income to the EPA funding and use it under the terms and conditions of the EPA award, including regulations governing the allowability of costs. If you anticipate generating program income under your project, ensure that your budget narrative contains a clear description of the planned use of the program income. You must also ensure that your accounting systems can properly recognize, account for, and expend program income under the addition method. The deduction method will require you to deduct program income from total allowable costs to determine net allowable costs. EPA policy disfavors the use of the deduction method. With prior EPA approval, applicants may use program income to meet cost-sharing requirements as provided in 2 CFR 200.307E3. The amount of program income, if any, that is expected to be used for cost share must be included in column F, non-federal, of Section A, Budget Summary Table, on the SF 424A. The total amount of program income that you expect to generate for both cost share and the addition disposition, if applicable, must be included in line 7 of Section B, Budget Categories. If program income is not going to be used for cost sharing, only include it in line 7. In cases where program income is being used for cost sharing and you fail to generate sufficient income to meet your cost share requirement, you will either have to make up for the shortfall with other non-federal funds, or you will be limited to the proportional amount of federal funds that are commensurate with the level of program income generated. In situations in which EPA is only partially funding the activity-generating program income, an appropriate adjustment must be made to ensure that the amount of funds designated program income fairly reflects EPA's contribution. For example, under the addition method, if the EPA award, including cost share, accounts for 50% of the cost of a conference, only 50% of the registration fees would be considered program income. In calculating the proportion of the cost attributable to the EPA award, you must exclude the amount of revenue from anticipated fees. Program income may only be used for allowable costs. For example, a recipient could not use program income generated by registration fees to purchase alcohol for a reception. There are no federal requirements on the use of program income earned after an award period ends unless an EPA regulation or the terms of the agreement specify otherwise. Under 2 CFR 200.307F and 2 CFR 1500.8, EPA may negotiate close-out agreements to govern the use of accrued and future program income. Finally, we will review factors to consider when transferring funds.
I need to go back one, y'all. Sorry.
Now let's learn.
I need to take a picture. Hold up.
In situations in which EPA is only partially funding the activity-generating program income, an appropriate adjustment must be made to ensure that the amount of funds designated program income fairly reflects EPA's contribution. For example, under the addition method, if the EPA award, including cost share, accounts for 50% of the cost of a conference, only 50% of the registration fees would be considered program income. In calculating the proportion of the cost attributable to the EPA award, you must exclude the amount of revenue from anticipated fees. Program income may only be used for allowable costs. For example, a recipient could not use program income generated by registration fees to purchase alcohol for a reception. Finally, we will review factors to consider when transferring funds. Depending on state, tribal, or local law, transfers of funding between departments or agencies of the same unit of government may be interagency service agreements for distribution of direct costs, subawards, or procurement contracts. If you are a government applicant, your project officer and grant specialist will work with you to ensure that budgets are structured appropriately to characterize how EPA funds will be transferred and how expenditures will be categorized. For example, separate budgets may need to be provided, encompassing both direct and indirect costs, for each department's share of the EPA award, or transactions may be characterized as subawards if permissible under state, tribal, or local law. Transactions between agencies may also be classified as procurement contracts, in which case the costs would be classified as contractual. Transactions between agencies or departments of other units of government may also be classified as contractual. For additional information on interagency transfers between departments of the same unit of government, refer to the EPA Subaward Policy Additional Resources webpage. Transfers of funds between departments of the same institutions of higher education are governed by the institutions of higher education's internal policies and procedures. EPA does not consider these transactions subawards or procurement contracts. Let's review what you have learned in this module. This module introduced you to general factors to consider when developing a budget for EPA financial assistance awards. In this module, we covered required budget forms, cost allowability, prior approval of costs, pre-award costs, cost share, EPA in-kind assistance, pre-award budget revisions, program income, and transferring funds. For information on how to develop and categorize costs for an EPA assistance agreement, check out the other modules in the How to Develop a Budget training, the Direct Costs module, the Other Direct Costs module, and the Indirect Costs module. Thank you. You have completed the General Principles and Considerations module. To record your completion with EPA, click or tap the Record Your Completion button.
That was good. All right, y'all. So I wanted to go over that budget. Because that's the part, man. I could listen to that budget over and over and over, because if you can get the budget down pat, if you can understand what's allowable costs and what's unallowable costs and how to design your budget, that's the majority of that's kind of half the battle already. Probably 80% of it, to be honest with you. Because knowing what they're gonna pay for, other than having grammatical errors and that kind of thing, or your program making sense. You know? So yeah. Pretty straightforward. Definitely would that be projected revenue or net income? Oh, devastating. I missed it. I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Yeah. So I would definitely listen to that again. But I don't want to overwhelm you guys. I'm gonna leave this video at this because I don't want this one to go too far, because some people may it's already 2 hours and a half. Some people may want to go back and listen. Anything you want to add?
This ain't my field. I ain't got none of that.
It was practical, right?
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I thought it
I don't
was.
know how you don't. I don't know how you don't understand it. You know, with all the groundwork just laid out tonight, though. I'll say that.
Yeah, we really gave a full example
Yeah.
on how to, you know, just that one application alone, you know.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. You can replay it again. So I'm gonna stop it right here so that that content can remain. And I'll get better and better with the presentations. Pretty soon I'm gonna have all of these examples down packed because this is what number 3, Chris. This is like the third project we broke out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I may work on some more like if you want to identify a problem like Chris threw out a barbershop and sometimes people think that their program or their company or their idea not fit into these grants. But that's the whole idea of this particular live stream, just to show you how any idea can fit in. And you have the best of both worlds because you have AI, and AI will give you an idea of exactly what information you need to look for. The only thing I did not do, and I'll do this real quick, Chris, I didn't do the statistics because you have to show the need. Hold on.
Yeah.
Let's do that real quick for the barbershop. So I said Texas. Let's see. List environmental and health issue statistics in underserved communities in Houston, Texas, as it relates to a mobile barbershop.
Mm-hmm.
There it is. There it is. And all we gotta do go up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Barbershops in the Black community have evolved into essential health information hubs, instrumental in addressing health disparities. These establishments are unique platforms for health advocacy, education, capitalizing on the cultural comfort patrons associated with such. Let's see, what was that source? Like barbershops. Let's go up. So we got some Wikipedia, we got some Texas government health reports of Hispanic, Latinos, and Blacks, African Americans in Houston are at higher risk for leading poisoning compared to white, highlighting racial disparities in environmental health risk. So we have to look at what we selected to be um, what we selected to be health risk. So we would have to look at, let's go back to our slides.
Mm-hmm.
The mental health. So we would look for different statistics of these 6 things, these 6 categories. And then we would find the statistics on it for underserved communities. And that's how we would that's how we would create our needs statement. Because we have to say is this mobile why is this mobile unit needed?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Right. So it says underserved communities in Houston, Texas face significant environmental and health challenges that can be effectively addressed through innovative approaches like mobile barbershops.
Right.
Right. So air quality, things of that nature. And so we would have to drill a little bit more into the statistics piece of it. So we'll do that next time. We'll talk about how to research and come up with your need. Your need needs to be, like you said, Chris, using BLS, finding
Yeah.
the statistics.
Mm-hmm.
BLS, you can use, we probably could use the EPA website, right, to come up with our needs. So we have to throw some statistics in there, and that's the only thing we're missing. So we're going to shut this down. We appreciate you all for tuning in and participating in the chat. Really appreciate it. Hopefully that you gain some information that will help you.
Yep. Sure, y'all.
All right. Peace, power, and profit.
Peace,
I like
power.
that logo.
Oh, appreciate it.
Peace, power, and profit.
All right. Peace.